You see these personal brands just take off and you have to wonder, how? Well, I'm going to tell you, it's not about getting lucky or having one video go viral. It's about having a system, a real, repeatable system that's built for profit, for success, and, this is the big one, for freedom. So let's just get right to it. You got to ask yourself this question. Is what you're doing right now building an asset that grows in value every single day? Or is it just a time suck, a hobby that's draining your energy with not much to show for it? We're going to make sure you're building an asset. And this quote right here, this is the whole game. Profit doesn't just happen by accident. It comes from a deliberate process, something you can follow again and again. And by the time we're done here, you are going to have that exact blueprint to build a brand that actually works for you. All right, so here's our roadmap. We'll kick things off by figuring out what the real problem is that we're trying to solve. Then we'll build your brand from the inside out, starting with your foundation, connecting with your audience, designing how it looks and feels, and then putting the systems in place to make it grow, all leading to that ultimate payoff, freedom. Okay, first things first, we have to reframe the entire goal. This is not about getting famous. It's not about being an influencer with millions of followers. It's about designing a brand that gives you what the source calls founder freedom. That means you're in control of your time, your money, and your impact. So where do we start building this thing? Well, it all begins with the most important piece of the puzzle, you. This whole first phase is about doing the internal work, that deep dive of self-discovery, because that's the bedrock of a brand that's actually authentic and powerful. Which leads us to this really fundamental question. What is it about you that's different? What's that unique perspective you have that maybe, just maybe, you've been kind of hiding to try and fit in? See, the whole point isn't to be like everybody else. It's to find the parts of you that are truly unforgettable and just own them completely. So let's make this super practical. The source has this amazing exercise. I want you to literally grab a piece of paper and write down 7 core pillars. What are the 7 things you really want to be known for? It sounds so simple, right? But this act, just defining yourself on paper, is what's going to pull you out of all the noise online. Now, once you know who you are, you need something to keep you on track. And that's your brand's compass. Think of it as your set of non-negotiable values, your core purpose. So when you're feeling a little lost or you get a weird opportunity, you look at this compass and it points you right back to what matters. And these values can't just be fluffy words. Look at these examples. Freedom isn't just a word. It means having time and location abundance. Simplicity isn't just a vibe. It's a commitment to removing complexity. See? When your values are that clear, making those tough decisions suddenly gets a whole lot easier. Okay, so you've got clarity on who you are. The next logical step is to figure out who cares. This next part is all about bridging that gap. It's about really understanding and building a genuine relationship with the people you are actually meant to serve. And this right here, this is probably the biggest mindset shift you need to make. Your audience is not a follower count. They're not just clients. They are human beings, people with problems you can solve and goals you can help them reach. Your brand exists to be their guide. That's it. So how do you become that guide? Well, you have to build trust. In this online world, trust is basically the new currency. You earn it by sharing your story, by giving value over and over again, and by letting people see the real person behind the brand. If you don't have that trust, you're just more noise. All right, with that strong foundation of who you are and who you serve, it is time for the fun part. It's time to translate all of that internal work into something people can actually see and feel. This is where your brand gets its personality, its soul, and becomes something people recognize in an instant. And to make sure you stay on track, the source suggests creating brand commandments. These are like the guiding principles your brand lives by. Think about rules like make art, not content, or original. We are unlike anyone else. These aren't just slogans. They force you to aim higher and create something truly special. And here's exactly how you start. It's not complicated, I promise. First, just define your voice. Pick 3 to 5 words. Are you witty, inspiring, direct? Then choose a simple color palette, just 2 to 4 colors. And finally, pick 1 or 2 fonts that match that vibe. That's it. These small choices, done consistently, build an incredibly powerful identity over time. Now, let's get into the engine room. Because a beautiful brand is useless if no one ever sees it. This is the nuts and bolts part of the system that makes your brand grow consistently. And the best part? It does it without completely burning you out. And the secret weapon here is what's called the Content GPS. It's basically a strategic map for everything you create. This system stops you from just randomly posting stuff. It's about showing up in the right places at the right time with the right message, making your whole content process feel almost automatic. And here's how you get an endless supply of fuel for that GPS. It's the Founder Content Machine. It's a quick 3-step sprint. 1. Pick just 3 categories you want to be known for. 2. Decide if you're the expert with all the answers or the curator who finds the best stuff. And 3. This is a game changer. Set a timer for 30 minutes and brainstorm 30 ideas. Boom. Content for a month. Now, obviously, you can't do all this by yourself forever. As you grow, you'll need a small, critical team. Someone to manage socials, edit video, do design, and you'll need the right tools to keep it all running like a well-oiled machine. This is what lets the brand work even when you're not working. And that brings us all the way back to the beginning. We've built the foundation, we've found our people, we've designed the brand, and we've systematized its growth. But why? What's it all for? Let's talk about the final piece, the real payoff. Because when you strip it all away, all of this work, every single step in this entire system, it is all designed and engineered to get you to one place. Not fame, not even just profit, freedom. And what does that actually look like? It's the freedom to create the things you really want to create, to choose the projects that light you up, to work from wherever you want, to make a real impact on people who get you. It is all about building a brand that serves your life, not the other way around. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Building a brand like this, it's not a quick hack. It's a real commitment. So the only question left to ask is, what future and what kind of freedom are you committing to build for yourself?